I need... How am I supposed to get a pardon for that ambisextrous loon from City Hall?
Ask Sam.
Lieutenant Griffith thinks the death penalty is too lenient as it leaves open the possibility of reincarnation. Can you imagine her releasing a known felon?
She might if you admitted you set him up.
Now! Let's not do anything hasty which might get my ass thrown in jail.
Yeah, your ass wouldn't do well in jail. Well, it might do rather too well in those tights, but you know what I mean.
So you see my dilemma?
Yeah, what you really need is some fresh-faced journalist who's dying for a scoop to make their name in news.
I don't understand, old friend. How would that help us?
It's election year, mate. The mayor would have to do something if there was a news story about an injustice. Even Sam wouldn't dare refuse the mayor.
Alright, let's go talk to Consoler. If I talked to him previously before talking to her, I would have had that on. Those bells are really small.
Have you heard of the flamboyant superhero?
He was arrested for assaulting a nurse. Isn't he in jail?
He is, but I happen to know that he was framed.
Really? How do you know this?
We're the ones what framed him.
I knew it! I knew you would turn out to be corrupt!
Tonight on Channel 8 News, New York's fallen hero, the Purple Patriot, guilty of framing a rival.
Dial it back there, Lois Payne. We, didn't know he was innocent when we arrested him.
There was a lot of circumstantial evidence.
Such as?
Well, he looked guilty. That's usually a good sign, right? Look, we need you to run one of those stories you reporters do about people who have been wrongly convicted.
After everything you've done to me, why would I help you?
To get that sense of smug self-satisfaction that drives all you media types?
I'm perfectly capable of feeling smug self-satisfaction without helping you two degenerates.
Listen, you scandal-peddling sensationalist! Aren't you reporters supposed to be interested in the truth?
I'm interested in whatever it takes to get me in the anchorwoman chair for Channel 8 and gets that cheap tramp Mindy Mitchin out on her ear.
Imagine how formidable women in the workplace would be if they could ever stop clawing each other's eyes out for being sluts.
Wait, so, all you really want is a big story to raise your profile? I've got the story you need! Blowing the lid off a miscarriage of justice will make you the toast of the town.
Please, have you ever watched Channel 8? All they care about is tawdry sex scandals, pedophiles, and stopping immigrants from getting into America.
Well, the story of the flamboyant superhero's innocence will be right up your alley then. You see, he has an alibi for the time of the crime, and boy, it's a doozy of an alibi.
Okay, I'll bite. What's the story?
At the time he was supposedly attacking the nurse, the flamboyant superhero was actually helping catch Cubans being smuggled into Florida.
No, Channel 8 wouldn't be interested in a story like that.
Hold on!
I should think not. It's a disgrace. Some
Okay.
of those Cubans are living in terrible circumstances and don't deserve to be vilified. Not to mention that many of them are robbed and beaten and treated despicably by the smugglers. Good on Channel 8 for taking a stand.
Well, it's just that they're more focused on the border with Mexico. We've been running a story all week about what would happen if the border fence was electrified. Our do-it-yourself experts showed viewers how to build their own electric fence with just 23 car batteries and a roll of wire fencing.
So...
Not interested.
I need help.
You always do.
How am I supposed to get a pardon for that ambisextrous loon from City Hall?
Ask Sam.
Lieutenant Griffith thinks the death penalty...
You're in.
She might if you...
Now! Let's not do anything hasty.
Yeah, you're...
Very know
So
this.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you really need is some fresh-faced journalist who's dying.
I don't understand, old friend.
It's election year, mate. The mayor would have to do something if there was a news story about.
Listen, you scandal-peddling sensationalist! Aren't you reporters supposed to be interested in the truth?
I'm interested in whatever it takes to get me in the anchorwoman chair for Channel 8 and gets that cheap tramp Mindy Mitchin out on her ear.
Imagine how formidable women in the workplace would be if they could ever stop clawing each other's eyes out for being sluts.
Wait, so all you really want is a big story to raise your profile? I've got the story you need! Blowing the lid off a miscarriage of justice will make you the toast of the town.
Please, have you ever watched Channel 8? All they care about is tawdry sex scandals, pedophiles, and stopping immigrants from getting into America.
Well, the story of the flamboyant superhero's innocence will be right up your alley then. You see, he has an alibi for the time of the crime, and boy, it's a doozy of an alibi.
Okay, I'll bite. What's the story?
It turns out that the flamboyant superhero couldn't have attacked that nurse after all. He was outside the hospital protesting against abortion.
Sorry, but Channel 8 already has a reporter undercover with a bunch of abortion protesters.
Angela Lansbury's never had an abortion, has she?
I don't think so, but she's less likely to have a gun than Chelsea Handler.
So...
Not interested.
When the nurse was attacked, I happened to know that the flamboyant superhero was taking part in an orgy. You know how promiscuous gay men are.
Mate, you can't say that. That's a myth that the right-wing media perpetuates in order to encourage prejudice against the LGBT community.
I've tried everything else, old friend. If that fop with his painted-on mustache wants a pardon, he'll have to put up with a bit of scandal.
But we haven't got any evidence.
Oh, that's fine. Most of our stories are little more than hearsay and tittle-tattle. Channel 8 likes those stories.
It's not even true.
Can he afford to sue?
I doubt it. He's in prison, so I don't suppose he's got much money.
Perfect.
So...
We have a deal. I'll report the story as soon as you get out of here.
can't we stay and watch?
Absolutely not. The last thing I want to do is give you any extra publicity. I'm only running this story because it suits my end.
And a very fine end it is too, may I say.
Oh, I don't want to go there. Actually, yes, I do.
Have you seen the news? Apparently, there's a story about the flamboyant superhero.
Yes, I've seen it, and I know this is your handiwork, Purple Patriot.
No.
Well done, mate. You've achieved your life's ambition.
I have. What's that?
To be accused of being the brains behind something.
And don't think I haven't spotted your Machiavellian influence in this, Melvin.
I see myself as more of a Svengali than a Machiavelli, but all compliments gratefully accepted.
So you're going to pardon the flamboyant superhero, right? Right?
I don't appear to have much choice. The mayor's up for re-election and can't afford the bad publicity. Can you believe he actually threatened to have me sent back to traffic duty if I didn't sign off on it?
The only thing I'm struggling to believe is that you went along with it. I half expected to hear you told the mayor to get stuffed.
I almost did, but he's so desperate for votes he actually might sack me. Just make sure I don't regret letting this known felon back on the street, boys. If he causes any more trouble, I'll have both your asses.
And not in a good way, mate, before you ask.
We'll talk later, Lieutenant.
Alright, and back into City Hall. Now let's talk to the flamboyant superhero to get me that mayor thingy?
Okay, Twinkle Toes, I got you your pardon. Lieutenant Griffith is dealing with the DA's office, but it's a done deal. Now make with the quid pro boner. I want those radios turned off quicker than when the Al Sharpton show starts.
Chillax, perps. I'll make the call.
God, I hate the word chillax. Who comes up with these stupid combined words anyway?
I don't know, some stunts.
I have to go. There.
Yes. Now back out. Right back to the bank. Speak. About turning off your radios?
Lieutenant, I wonder if we could revisit the radio's discussion from earlier.
You've done it again, haven't you? You've gone over my head to the mayor and persuaded him to force my hand again.
Now, how do you know we had any involvement? For all you know, the mayor might have independently come up with that idea himself.
Right.
Oh, please. That pencil pusher hasn't had an original thought since the Carter administration. What did you do? Threaten to leak details of his campaign funding?
What are you complaining about anyway? You're always telling people to take more of an interest in politics.
I encourage people to vote, not blackmail politicians.
What about the radios?
Yes, I'm going to order all of the radios be switched off, but you'd better sleep with one eye open for a while.
Have you seen some of the women he takes home? There's a good reason he keeps the lights off and both eyes closed.
Delta Golf 17 to all cars, please turn off your radios immediately. We have a technical glitch in the system and need some downtime in order to troubleshoot it. Negative, Oscar Foxtrot 3. How can I radio everyone to tell them the problem has been fixed if you've all turned your radios off? And yours. All right, boys. The entire NYPD within 5 blocks is now in radio silence. I hope you know what you're doing. The lives of dozens of police officers are now in your hands. If anything goes wrong, every man and woman in the NYPD is going to have a bone to pick with you.
So very much like the time you crashed the Patriot mobile into Debbie's Donuts.
If they didn't put up such misleading signs, those sort of things wouldn't happen.
To be fair, most people seem to understand the intended message from a sign which says drive-through window.
We'll talk.
Into the bank. And then into the back. Come on, Jingle Bells. This one? What? Here's the... Alright, dude.
Excuse me. You should be able to tune your radio now. We asked Lieutenant Griffith to...
Shut down campus radio at DeVry.
No, she didn't.
Do you think it's a good idea to tell the leader of the heist that you've just switched off every police radio in the district?
Good thinking, perceptive companion. Lieutenant Griffith will have our balls in a vice if we screw this up now.
And the mayor has to pay extra for that at his special club.
Try tuning the radio again. It should work this time.
There is less interference, but the signal is still quite weak. Let me see if I can boost it anymore.
Cold War warrior calling Colonel Zurkov. Do you read me?
I read you, Commander.
Wait, what?
The Cold War warrior? What's going on here?
What is status of your mission?
My team has been taken into custody. I am about to close down the mission and allow myself to be arrested.
damn straight. We won this battle like Americans always win conflicts.
Yeah, now give us your oil.
What about Fat Purple Ringmaster, an English nerd?
They are here as you predicted, Commander.
I'm getting that funny feeling again.
What feeling is that, old friend?
Set up.
Like a 10-year-old who's just caught Gary Glitter smiling at him.
You know who this is, Purple Patriots?
Jamie Kennedy?
No, I'm not Jamie Kennedy. I am former KGB agent who was deported for helping you with fraudulent driver's license.
Could you be a little more specific? We've been framing a lot of innocent people lately in the name of justice.
Tell me, Purple Patriot, have you had busy day fighting my henchmen?
Not so busy that I couldn't take a break to kick your sorry ass, you pimple on humanity's butt.
Unfortunately, my ass is, how you say, inaccessible.
Yeah, I dated a few girls like that. But not for long.
I think he means he's a long way away.
Maybe not so far, but somewhere you will never reach. While you clowns were trying to prevent bank robbery, I was taking control of Ellis Island. You know what this means?
Nope.
You're running tourist trips.
No, pathetic patriot. It means I have stockpile of missiles with biological warheads which could wipe out entire eastern seaboard. If US government doesn't meet my demands, I will begin by launching missile strike on Newark.
Will the Cold War warrior wreak his revenge on the Purple Patriot? Has the Purple Patriot underestimated a dangerous foe? Why does everybody have it in for Newark? All will be
Oi, don't be a wanker, we're in the middle of something here.
But I have to set up the cliffhanger for the end of the issue.
We're not finished yet. We have to go to Ellis Island and stop the Cold War warrior from destroying several dozen metropolitan areas.
Of course, but that's in the next issue.
We're not dragging this out to a 4th issue just so some jumped-up narrator can make extra work for himself.
I hear that, old friend. I can't wait a whole month before I go and clobber that sociopathic Soviet.
But it's such a good dramatic point to stop. If we make the audience wait for the conclusion, they'll enjoy the finale all the more because of the anticipation.
Bollocks. There's some kind of corporate agenda here to make money and screw the audience, and I'm not having it.
Well said, radical roommate. Let's keep going.
Now bugger off before I forget me manners and put a boot up your ass.
I don't have to put up with being spoken to like this. I played Mercutio in the Rose Theatre's revival of Romeo and Juliet, you know.
Good. Then you'll know what it's like to cop an unfortunate one, won't you? Op it. Wait a minute, aren't we forgetting something?
Huh? Oh, we'll rough him up in the car.
No, I mean the gun. Shouldn't we take the gun before inviting the police in to arrest him?
Admirable forethought, faithful friend.
Purple Patriot, Consuela hasta luego for Channel 8 News. What can you tell our viewers about the heist at Wilson Chase Bank today?
Isn't there a shoe sale at Macy's you could be reporting on?
At shortly after 9 o'clock this morning, a group of armed men stormed the Wilson Chase Bank and took hostages. My sources tell me they made no attempt to steal anything or even gain access to the vault. Can you comment on the motives of the perpetrators?
They heard there was a 2-for-1 sale on $50 bills.
And they really like those little pens with the chains on them. You can never have enough of those.
Don't feign ignorance, Purple Patriot.
Trust me, love, he's not feigning.
The people of New York deserve to know what happened here today.
Your viewers only need to know 3 things, lady. Number 1, some no-good terrorist dirtballs took hostages. Number 2, I kicked their asses.
And number 3?
This afternoon on the Food Network, Ingrid Hoffman will be cooking lomo saltado. Now, get out of my way, you gossip-mongering rumor hag. The men have work to do.
Cut, Hank. Purple Patriot, you are chauvinistic, homophobic, and xenophobic. I am going to make it my life's work to get you busted back down to Boy Scout.
Ha! You just want to see me in short pants.
That's, you know. We foiled the heist!
Lieutenant, I'm pleased to inform you that the bank is no longer under the control of Russian reprobates.
Yep, you can send the greedy, corrupt bankers back in there where they can go back to screwing up the economy, helping each other make enormous profits at the expense of ordinary taxpayers, and asking the Federal Reserve for trillion-dollar bailouts. Is anyone else thinking it'd be cheaper to just let the robbers keep the bank next time?
I guess I owe you two an apology. I thought you'd gone off the deep end asking to release the flamboyant superhero and then having the mayor order me to switch our radios off. But you got the outcome everyone wanted here.
Are you going to tell her or shall I?
Tell me what? What have you done?
We've, only decided to let you take all of the credit for this arrest, Lieutenant. We're going to let you take the press conference and everything.
Well, that's very magnanimous of you, Purple Patriot.
Yeah, they broke the mold when they made me.
He was a very fat baby.
I'm sure the press will want to speak to you, though. You'll stay and talk to them, won't you?
Unfortunately, we have a prior engagement we really can't get out of.
Yeah, Kitty Claus is marrying the German Shepherd, and someone has to stop the in-laws chasing each other around the church.
I'm on pooper scooper duty. You think she bought that?
No.
She buys you as a superhero. Clearly gullibility is a known character trait.
I'm not.
You must admit...
Oh, Lord. Share with him.
How are we going to get to Ellis Island, old chum?
A ferry?
Well, we probably won't be able to get the ferry. A criminal mastermind will have thought of that. But you can fly, remember?
I know, but I get a bit wheezy going to the pizza place and back. If I had to carry you all the way to Ellis Island, I don't think I'd make it.
Well, ask the Bleeding Heart for help. She can fly.
Never! Females have no business being superheroes. Plus, she has that whole self-righteous, politically correct, judgmental thing going on.
That's a shame.
Why? Don't tell me you're holding a candle for that preachy do-gooder.
Not holding a candle, exactly. She waxes my wick a little bit, maybe. But no, I was just thinking that if she has to carry us over to Ellis Island, we'd be staring at her arse in skin-tight red lycra the whole way. But you're right, you shouldn't compromise on your political beliefs.
Now, maybe I've been a little hasty here. Perhaps I've let my personal beliefs cloud my judgment.
You? I can't believe that.
It's my duty to put the welfare of the American people before my personal grievances against some superpowered skirt. All right, let's have her meet us at True Believers.
I'll text her.
You have her phone number?
Yeah, she gave it to me. I say gave it to me. She only used the 256-bit RSA encryption key to protect her mobile. That's practically a come-on to a techie like me. Alright, she'll meet us there. Just remember to be on your best behaviour when we meet her. We need her help, remember?
Yeah, I'll be my usual charming self when we meet with that menstruating moonbat.
Yeah.
Stick around.
Yes.
No sign of the bleeding heart. I guess that serves us right for relying on a female superhero. They're all right until a major criminal operation goes down midway through Days of Our Lives.
Alright, mate, no need to get worked up. Let's just grab a table and wait for her.
Let's go talk to those two babes in the corner.
Did you leave your contact lenses on the bedside table again?
What? The brunette looks just like that girl from Jersey Shore.
She looks like a gorilla in a dress.
That's what I said. All right, you can have the pretty one.
That is the pretty one.
We don't have time to sit down, old chum. Besides,
for the love.
my muscles are so finely honed that I never actually need to sit down.
Hemorrhoids still playing up?
Oh, God, yes!
Hey boys, there's an ugly rumor going around.
Yeah? Well, introduce it to my colleague here. He'll most probably want to buy it a drink.
Word on the grapevine is the Cold War warrior has invaded Ellis Island and is preparing to launch missile strikes against half of the country.
Wait a minute. There are no missiles on Ellis Island.
Actually, mate, I'm pretty sure there are. Remember when Chimpera Caligupretzel was Commander-in-Chief?
Ah, yes. Halcyon days.
Well, apparently, his staff could never quite shake him from his fear that the Statue of Liberty was going to come to life and kill everyone in New York. They should never have let him watch Ghostbusters 2, if you ask me. Anyway, he insisted on keeping a stock of missiles on Ellis Island for the day when Lady Liberty awoke.
So the Cold War warrior is actually recycling our own missiles against us?
Oh yeah, it's a very cost-effective and environmentally friendly military campaign he's running.
We're supposed to meet the Bleeding Heart here. Have you seen her?
She hasn't been in all day. Perhaps she's busy at her day job.
Do you know what her day job is? Do you know her secret identity?
Sorry, boys. And even if I did, I couldn't tell. It would violate bartender alcoholic privilege.
Do you think he knows?
Does a duck sleep on its back?
No, it doesn't.
Do what?
No, wait. Is Dolly Parton's ass watertight?
Huh?
Can I start again?
Please don't.
Please don't.
How did you come to hear this story of the Cold War warrior invading Ellis Island anyway?
It's been all over the police radio this afternoon.
You've got a police scanner?
Of course. How else would I get advance notice when we're about to get raided? You know the funny thing about this attack on Ellis Island? Apparently, some dumbass superhero was tricked into helping Cold War warrior. He had all the police switch off their radios, so they couldn't hear about the attack when it started.
What a muppet.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that guy when word gets around. This is a superhero bar, right?
Superheroes, supervillains, fans, yeah.
Any hot groupies in today? I could regale them with tales of daring do.
I didn't know you'd taken up daring again.
Oh yeah, ever since I pulled a muscle trying to buckle my swash.
I told you that would happen.
Sorry, boys. Mighty Man Mountain was in this afternoon, and the cutest groupies left with him.
What's he got that I haven't got? I've got the body of a Greek god! Right, faithful friend?
You've got the body of several Greek gods, mate. You've got the liver of Dionysus, the childbearing hips of Hera, and the genitalia of Hermaphroditus.
That's...
Thanks for the information.
Sorry I'm late. I couldn't get away from work.
This is why there aren't more female superheroes. When there's a major crime underway, they spend 45 minutes in a phone booth because they haven't got a thing to wear.
Whereas when you spend 45 minutes in a phone booth, it's just because your stomach is jammed in the door.
And when they do finally arrive, God help you if another superheroine is wearing the same costume. They'll forget about the criminals altogether and start clawing each other's eyes out.
One thing they won't do is disable every police radio within a 5-block radius and allow a psychotic supervillain to steal a battery of biological weapons to use against innocent people.
Assuming that's true, and I'm not saying it is.
It is, though.
All right, it is true. But how did you hear about it?
I have my sources.
You're sleeping with the police commissioner.
I hate to interrupt when children are squabbling. I'll be over here when you're ready to go.
Normally, I find it pitiful to see a woman alone in a bar, but I'm sure you're used to it.
If that's the kind of line you use on women in bars, I'm not surprised you get blown out more times than a windsock.
Are you familiar with Ellis Island?
I know it was used by fascist politicians to lock up people whose only crime was being born in another country.
If a few more people who were born in other countries were locked up, maybe America would be a safer place.
So there's no truth to the rumors that the Patriot Cave was built almost exclusively by illegal immigrant labor?
None whatsoever. Paco and Esteban are as American as you or I. Have you met the Cold War warrior?
Of course. I was involved in getting him the work placement at City Hall.
Such benevolence. Why can't you be more like her?
I probably could if I had my testicles removed.
Would that force you to use your brain for thinking instead?
No, but it might give me the kind of terrible judgment that helps a communist terrorist get a job in City Hall where he can plan attacks on America.
He wasn't planning anything until you bribed him and then stood by while he was arrested and deported.
You can't make heroes act like villains.
At least, not unless it leads to a really good crossover.
Shall we take off for Ellis Island? You're not getting any younger.
Whereas you are, but that's just your mental age.
Mate, I really think we should do something about the flamboyant superhero before we go anywhere. He's going to be really pissed when he finds out you've implicated him in some sex scandal.
Ha! What's that lily-livered panty-waist going to do? Hit me with his purse? Insult my fashion sense?
Too easy.
Look, I just think we should take the time to explain the situation to him. He might take it better if we explain that it was the only way we could get him off. If the first time he hears about it is on live TV, he might go off the deep end.
Forget about it. That fairy would be too worried he might chip a nail to do anything rash. Now let's get going. I'm going to put that communist maggot in jail for so long, when he gets out, he'll be dead.